Hello and welcome to Tarot Talk 1111. It has been a very long time since I have uploaded to this channel, and I just felt the need to give it a little love. My name is TR, and I am a channel and medium, and this is the channel that I use for my creative endeavors, I guess you want to say. So if you're interested in booking a private reading, everything you need will be in the description box below. I do have a main channel where I do readings for Ascension, Twin Flames, and Awakening, basically. Love, romance, zodiacs. If you are interested, you may go over to my main site and get more readings. And I do have a Patreon over there as well. Any one of the videos in my main channel beneath them in the description box will be everything you need if you're interested. Okay, so sorry I haven't been giving you any love over here. I do an awful lot on my main channel and my Patreon channel. And just recently, Spirit's been motivating me to do some work over here. So this is all about, it's a pick a pile reading. If you're not familiar, you choose which pile you are most drawn to. And this is going to be messages from your passed over loved ones, or your angels, your guides, your spirit, your higher self. I've used archetype cards so that we might get a general idea of who it is bringing the message through. So take a moment, meditate on your pile. Pile number 1 is this Amazonite heart, puff heart crystal. Pile number 2 is blue apatite snowflake. And pile number 3 is this cute little Labradorite owl. And it's hard to see in this lighting, but he has one eye that twinkles at you when it hits the light a certain way, this eye right here. So take a moment, choose your pile, and we're going to get started. Let me move some of these out of the way. All right, so if you chose pile number 1, I'm going to get all of your energies out. These are like letters or advice from whomever's bringing this message through. It could be one person, it could be many people, it can also be your spirit team. Take it as it resonates, okay? But I'm going to get all of your cards out on the table first, and then I'm going to discern them for you. All right, so pile number 1, we have the Fool attribute in reverse, and we have the Mentor attribute in the reverse. We have New Beginnings in the upright. Ooh, we have Let Go. We have You Are Not Alone. Wow, this phrase has been following me a lot lately. We have Spirit of Gratitude. We have Bridget. And we have Whale. All right, so the Fool attribute in the reverse is using humor to wound rather than liberate, denial of your emotional truth. It is the Fool in reverse. Okay, Mentor. This is in the shadow attribute. This is inability to allow the student to move on to the role of master, imparting false instruction. And it is in the shadow attribute. This was the Fool one. I should have showed it to you. All right, then we have You Are Not Alone. We are here for you. We never left. through all the sadness and loneliness. However, you cannot sense us near you or feel how much love we are sending you. We are your family, friends, and your guides. You never walk alone. We walk right beside you. Then we have new beginnings. Sometimes I read intuitively. Well, I always read intuitively. I want to swap these two out. So we have let go. Once you let go of the outcome, you'll be able to release all the emotional constraints that have held you back in the past. Trust in the higher good and guidance of spirit, as we have only your best intentions at heart and will do everything in our power to protect you. So we have let go, and I swap these out because then we have new beginnings. All right. There's your artwork. And we have spirit of gratitude, which is number 43, which breaks down to a 7. 7 is always about the next step for me as a reader. All right, then we have Bridget. Caution is warranted. Look deeper into the situation before proceeding further. And we have great worry over nothing with the whale. Okay. So what I'm seeing here is there's a very clear message that this is not just family. Okay. This is actually a culmination of spirit guides, angels, family, those who are crossed over. This is higher self energy for me. And what I'm seeing here is that you recently might have been triggered into a childhood wound around abandonment, possibly bullying. Because with the Fool and the Mentor in reverse, it feels to me like I just feel like you're facing some kind of a situation that has brought you into this worry. You're afraid of looking like a fool. You're afraid of being misguided. You're afraid of believing in yourself is what it looks like. It looks like self-doubt. And I feel like when you let go of these childhood wounds around abandonment, and I just feel like you went through some past stuff where you trusted somebody a lot, and they made you feel like a fool, and they might have abandoned you too. And it looks to me like your guides or your family are wanting you to realize that all the caution that you've been putting into this is because you're worrying. It says great worry over nothing. You're basically possibly manifesting a new beginning, and it's very beautiful. And instead of being fearful of looking like a fool or being misguided, let go of those old wounds or transmute them, right? Once you let go of the outcome, you'll be able to release all the emotional constraints that have held you back in the past. Trust in the higher good and guidance of spirit, as we have only your best intentions at heart and will do everything in our power to protect you. It feels to me like you're worried that you're being misguided. And you have been triggered, and now you're feeling some red flags, or maybe you're creating red flags where there are none. And so they're saying be in the spirit of gratitude is what's going to bring this new beginning, and letting go of past trauma. And the past trauma that you've been triggered in, whenever this new, it's almost like self-sabotage is what it feels like. When something new comes into your life, instead of feeling grateful for it, you start looking for, when's the other shoe going to drop? What's the downside? Right? Am I going to look like a fool? Am I going to be misguided? Can I trust? Will I be abandoned? And this feels like self-sabotage. It feels like your spirit guides, maybe even a deceased loved one, or two, or three, or four, or five, or ancestral, is trying to show you that by letting go of your fears and worry and being in a state of gratitude, you'll find more peace in any new beginnings and cycles, right? This is a cycle. And so we are here for you. We never left through all the sadness and loneliness. However, you cannot sense us near you or feel how much love we are sending you. We are your family, friends, and guides. You never walk alone. We walk right here beside you. Once you let go of the outcome, you'll be able to release all the emotional constraints that have held you back in the past. Trust in the higher good and guidance of spirit, as we have only your best intentions at heart and will do everything in our power to protect you. It's like your guides or your possible deceased loved ones are trying to tell you that um whatever experiences you've had in the past do not define you as a human being. You can absolutely manifest new beginnings through an attitude of gratitude that bring you joy, that bring you spontaneity, that bring you happiness. It's like something good came in and you threw up a block on it, right? You're looking for motives. You're looking. Caution is warranted. Look deeper into this situation before proceeding forward. I don't feel that. I don't. I feel like your guides here, the message for pile number one is that these are triggers and you're being offered an opportunity to start something new that's going to bring you joy and happiness. And I feel a little bit of self-sabotage, and your guides are saying, don't worry over nothing. Let go of the past. Let go of the outcome. Just be in the now moment. Be in a spirit of gratitude. Trust that what's for you will show up, and what is not for you will leave, and let it go. Welcome the new beginnings and let go of anything that no longer serves you. So let's look at your advice. We have surrender and release. Again, let go. Things that you are holding on to so tightly. No, let me rephrase that. It says surrender and release that thing you are holding on to so tightly with an iron grip fist. Let it go. Breathe in. gathering the dust up from every corner of your body until you no longer feel it lurking. Deep within the depths of your soul, pause at the top of your breath and release it on a long exhale. A steady breath out, pause again and ask, can you surrender to the final outcome? Can you surrender to how things come back to you? Can you surrender to the knowledge that they may not? Surrender to all possibilities, accepting that what's in store is greater than anything you could ever imagine. Surrender, dear one, and watch how you rise. Again, let go of expectations. It's easy to be disappointed in people and situations when we put all of our love and happiness on something external to ourselves. It's like creating lack before you've even experienced it. And so there's something from your past that is part of your shadow that needs to be released. It needs to be let go. It needs to be transmuted. And so the opposite of love is not hate, it is fear. And the opposite of lack is gratitude. And so it's like your guides are trying to tell you that to honor what is for you and to be willing to be okay with that which is trying to leave. Don't hold on to the outcome. Allow whatever is wanting to come in for you to come in. Be open to accept it and allow anything that's wanting to leave you to leave because something better is for you. I got a fly in here driving me nuts. So your postcard from Spirit is, dearest you, we have something exciting to share with you. You are becoming a manifesting master, and you don't even know it. There will always be enough of everything that you need in your life: money, opportunities, love, kindness. So, whatever you're asking guidance about, have faith and be open to the many ways in which you will experience prosperity. Spirit is the source of your supply. The universe is always reflecting back to you what you believe internally. So, whenever you fall into insecurity, you will be shown an illusion as if your fears were actually real. But the truth is that the universe is abundant. You are and always have been enough, and abundance is your natural state. If you can imagine something consistently as truth, you can and will create it. You are so on the right path now. Keep believing, then the seeing truly happens. Love you more and more every day. Again, this is coming back to overcoming a shadow trauma around lack, around self-worth, around feeling foolish or misled, misguided, feeling abandoned. And if there's something that you've been trying to manifest and it came into your life and now all of a sudden you're expecting the worst, you're looking for validation that nothing ever works out for you, you never truly get to experience the happiness that you've been trying to create. Spirit's saying you're self-sabotaging with that belief system. Let it go. See your self-worth. Know that you're never alone. You're never abandoned, right? Spirit's always with you. That inner voice that you listen to, it can be your friend or it can be your worst enemy. And so it's time for you to release inner dialogue that no longer supports you or makes you feel good about your external experience. And it's time for you to be in a state of gratitude for anything new that wants to come in to your awareness. And instead of questioning its motives, just be grateful. And know that when you focus on the positive, you will create more of the positive. And when you focus on the negative, you will validate and create more of the negative. So I'm not sure, I didn't get a solid feel for a certain person, not a grandmother or father or mother. I'm getting ancestral and spirit guides. And I feel possibly even your higher self, right? Which is source. It's the part of you that never left the heavens or source. So pile number 1, this has been your message. I hope that it resonated. If you're new to the channel and you like my content, please hit the thumbs up, the subscribe button. If you click on the wiggly bell, it will notify you every time I upload. And I am grateful, spirit of gratitude, to be able to channel for you these messages. And I hope that somehow they will reach you with ears that are eyes that want to see and ears that want to hear and create, because it looks to me like something beautiful is wanting to come in for you, but you're going to have to learn to trust that everything is not out to get you and nobody's trying to trick you or make you look foolish. Okay? I love you. We're going to move on now to pile number 2. I'm just going to put 23 minutes. Thank you. I'm going to pull out now pile number 2. Pile number 2 was the snowflake. So if you chose pile number 2, the blue apatite snowflake, these will be your messages. I will be saving the 2 letters as advice. So your first is guide in the light attribute. Second is monk or nun. We have stuck energy. I guess I should be showing you them as I unfold them. So there is the guide. Here is the monk or nun. We have a number 8, which is stuck energy. It's like the 8 of Swords energy for me. We have embrace the moment. We have hope. We have wish upon a star. That's beautiful energy. Number 39, which breaks down to a 3. We have Indriel. You are a light worker. God needs you to shine your divine love and light like an angel upon the earth and all of its inhabitants. And your tea leaf is apple. Temptation will test you. Okay, so pile number 2. This is definitely messages from the divine. This is from your guides. This is not like a grandparent or a parent. But what I'm seeing here with this embrace the moment, let me read this. So we have embrace this day, this very moment. Think positively today and repel those negative thoughts. Try not to judge yourself or others. This may be harder than you think. What is actually happening is that you're changing energy. Yes. And you have the energy card. See, it says energy. So stuck energy. You're changing your energy. You're being guided too, very divinely guided. It says represents the nature of the divine in life and in yourself. And with the monk nun, we have selfless devotion, single-minded dedication to spirit. We have hope. Your loved ones in the spirit world know when to reach out if they see you're at a low point. Whether you're caught up in a difficult situation or struggling with someone specific in your life, there is always hope. We have this beautiful wish upon a star. Number 3, which is a very divine number. And with this, you are a light worker. Temptation will test you. All right, so my pile number 2, this is a very beautiful message, okay? I feel like you are this beautiful light worker, and you are here to help people to shine and find hope, okay? You are a light in the darkness for many. And with this monk or nun, this is like, you could be very religious, you could be faithful. It doesn't have to be conformed religion. But what I'm seeing is you are a light unto this world. And I don't feel like this is so much your energy. I feel like this could have been what you were experiencing before you awakened. But I feel like you've had an awakening recently. And I'm seeing rainbows. I've got a rainbow here and I've got a rainbow here. So you're very divinely guided. I think you are on an awakening path. And you are learning to walk between worlds, is what I'm hearing. And so you're teaching people hope, faith, shining divine light, guiding people, being in service to others. And with the apple, low-hanging fruit, right? Temptation will test you. I feel, well, I'm hearing, because I'm clairaudient, I'm hearing that each moment is a test of one's faith. Every decision we make is a temptation and a test. And embracing the moment, there's a promise here with this rainbow. There's a promise for the future. I feel like you are a light worker. You're helping to create a future world, guiding people. It's like I'm like a bridge. Like I'm seeing you helping people who were stuck in negative thoughts, negative patterns, negative belief systems. Think positively today and repel those negative thoughts. Try not to judge yourself or others. This will be harder than you think. What is actually happening is that you're changing your energy. I feel like you had to do this first. I feel like you are actually, or were actually, in this energy yourself. I feel like you've had an awakening. I feel like in that awakening, you found hope. You found inspiration. You are a light worker that has, you probably saw 1111, signs and synchronicities. You might have even met people on your path that were catalysts for an awakening. But what I'm seeing here is that you're a guide, a light that is teaching others about hope, about faith, about trust, and changing, literally flipping the script that within us is always the negative and the positive polarity. And temptation is always one decision away. And I feel like you are helping people to navigate through the temptations through role modeling. So I'm hearing that when I read the guidance, this temptation will test you. I feel like this is the temptation to fall back into old patterns, old behaviors. I feel like you've had an awakening, and on this awakening, you've developed a more astute walk with the light, walk with God, source. And along your path, you've had to learn how to unstick yourself in old patterns, old belief systems, old energies. I feel like you came here to liberate anybody who wishes liberation, bringing hope and teaching people to walk a fine line between the positive and the negative, knowing that if you don't want to be stuck, I'm hearing rainbow tribe, rainbow light warrior. That's what you are. You're a rainbow light worker. I like this energy, guys. So you're a bridge. You are a bridge. I'm hearing that you didn't know this. For some of you, didn't even know this. But you've been very faithful. You're mindful, prayerful. You've had some kind of a catalyst for an awakening, and you're learning things. You're being very divinely guided to awaken, because you're going to become a leader. You're going to help others. You are bridging a gap between the polarities, the lower timelines and the higher timelines. You are a bridge, a rainbow bridge between the light and the dark. And you are helping. Some of you don't even know you're doing it. I mean, you know you're doing it, but you don't know. Like, you're not looking at it from a spiritual point of view. You're looking at it from a religious point of view. Like, I just want to give people hope and help them to overcome self-doubt and temptation. See, temptation, with the monk and the nun, I feel like you might be religious more than spiritual in your servitude. But you are absolutely, beautifully overcoming a lot of things in your life and becoming a role model for others in servitude. Pious. I'm hearing pious. Like, you don't judge people because you've been there. You understand what it's like. You might have even been a bit of a rebel. You might have had addictions or problems in your life that you had to work very hard to overcome. You might have even turned to religion to find faith and hope. But light workers come in all sizes and shapes and religions and modalities. You'll find a light worker amongst the drug addicts, and you'll find a light worker amongst the lost, the forgotten, the downtrodden. source or God or spirit or whatever it is that you resonate with for being God divinely placed you in all of the energies that you were stuck in through experiences, possibly as a child. I think you've overcome some kind of addiction or temptation or um, energy of feeling enslaved, heavily burdened. And I think your wish is to guide others out of the dark and into the light. So let's get you some advice. I wasn't sure how this reading was going to, these pick-a-piles were going to be, whether it was going to be, parents, loved ones. But this absolutely feels like source, God, angels, guides, your higher self, whatever you want to call it. I have a feeling that either you were religious and have recently become more spiritual, or you were maybe a rebel, maybe in some very low vibrational experiences, and have found religion to bring you hope and faith. And now you want to spread the light amongst others. You're an earth angel. You're a rainbow bridge. Beautiful energies. So we have manifest. Everything you have ever dreamed of, everything your heart desires, we do have wish upon a star, already lives within you. The only thing stopping it from coming to life is our own fear of what will happen when we finally receive all that our heart longs for. So ask yourself, what can you align with just a little bit closer? What can you let go of just a little bit more? What can you drop into just a little bit deeper? Trust that what is yours already belongs to you. You simply have to ask for it clearly, potently, and wholeheartedly. After all, if you can hold it in your heart, and look at this little girl is holding it in her heart. If you can hold it in your heart and see it in your mind, you will hold it in your hand. Hope. And you're very, very divinely guided and protected. You're always given guidance when you get quiet and prayerful and listen. And so you've learned how to manifest, or are learning how to manifest through energy work. I do believe for some of you, the stuck energy is addiction, can be codependence, but it's something that held a high temptation. And I feel like you're helping others with the same affliction. So your postcard from Spirit is, Dearest you, there is only one you, and you have a unique path and a special purpose because you're a light worker. You're supposed to have specific experiences in this world and meet certain people, but then it is up to you how you live, how awake you choose to be, and how willing you are to grow and strip away what's false. Don't compare yourself to others. It's easy to think a person is happier just because their outside looks good, according to society's standards, but you don't know anyone's internal experience. Compare yourself only to your past self. See how far you've come. Don't be distracted by what others are doing or accomplishing. Stay focused on what inspires you. That's how you get successful and find happiness. Want what you have now, not what someone else has. We love you immensely and know your journey ahead is sparkling with miracles and wondrous things. Trust. So another thing I'm getting from this is that in your awakening, in your experiences, the people you meet, the experiences that you've had, you may have experienced lack, like maybe, money or homelessness or it doesn't matter. It's going to be different for everybody, but I think possibly what you're being guided currently in your awakening, because I do feel you're going through awakening, is that where you place your focus is what you attract vibrationally to you. And so if you've been coveting or comparing what you have to what others have, or maybe it's past energy, just know that we don't vibrationally align with and manifest what we want. We manifest what we are in alignment with. Let me reframe that. So we don't manifest what we want. You can wish all you want. But if you're not in vibrational alignment with receiving it, you will never have it. And you are a powerful conscious creator. You are capable of manifesting anything because you are a creator being from the creator source. Creation is your natural state. And so I think either you've already learned the art of manifestation by focusing on what you want to experience versus what you don't, or you're currently being taught that through mirrors, through contrast, through duality. And so wherever you are on this journey, if you're in stuck energy, if you're focusing on what you don't have and what other people have, that energy is going to produce more of that. You will manifest validation for whatever it is you believe. And so through prayer and meditation and guidance, you can manifest your heart's desire, but you have to focus on hope and faith and what you want to experience with gratitude instead of what you don't. So take it as it resonates, because I do kind of feel a division here. Some of you have already mastered this and you're teaching it to others, and others of you are stuck in this energy of comparison. And possibly you've come across some videos or some information about manifestation, and you're possibly feeling like what you want, what you're wishing for, isn't showing up. And so embrace the day, the moment. Think positively today. Repel those negative thoughts. Try not to judge yourself or others. Don't compare yourself to others. This may be harder than you think. What's actually happening is that you're changing your energy. So if you want good energy, you have to have good thoughts. If you want bad energy, you will judge. You'll be tempted to judge and compare your journey to others, and all you will find is that the very things you're trying to manifest by wishing isn't really coming in. It's kind of stuck out there. And so if you want to manifest a wish fulfillment, you must focus on gratitude and focus on the positive. Focus like you already have it, like it's on its way, instead of comparing yourself to others and finding more lack, more, well, I want that, but I'm not getting it. Focus on the moment. What do you have? Do you have a roof over your head? Some of you will, some of you won't. Do you have food in your belly? Some will, some won't. Focus on the blessings with hope and faith, and you will manifest the very thing that you're asking for. And with this light worker card, this could very well be your awakening. And it could be the part of the journey that you are currently being guided through. So take what resonates, leave what doesn't. I love you guys. I am grateful for you. If you liked my reading, if it resonated with you, if you found anything in it that was helpful, please hit the subscribe button, give it a thumbs up, hit the wiggly bell so you don't miss any uploads. Spirit has been guiding me to create more content over here. So you're going to want, hopefully, if you like it, you're going to want to know when more of it arrives. Okay? Thank you so much for spending your time with me. And I'm going to move on now to pile number 3 at 4517. All right, pile number 3. If you chose this cutesy little Labradorite owl, I wish it was daytime because he's got one eye that stays dark and he's got one that just, it's like he's got a glint in his eye. So owl for wisdom, right? Let's see what guidance Spirit has for you. Pile number 3. I'm going to keep these for advice and guidance. We're going to take a look at who is bringing the message, or possibly if it's not a who, it's what is the message. All right, so first card out is the Goddess in the Shadow attribute, reversed. We have the Victim in the Shadow attribute. We have number 8 in events, a creative endeavor. So some kind of an event is coming that is going to give you an opportunity to be creative. We have study. It says, Spirit has its own special way of letting you know that it's time to study again. From time to time, it's important to go back and learn, whether that's learning old things in a new way or learning something totally new. This is an opportunity to expand your mind. Next, we have be proud. It says it's time to celebrate all that you've achieved, all that you are, all that you will become. Every once in a while, it's important to stop and acknowledge what you've achieved and to be proud. Next, we have the land between. Look at that. You guys, wow, what a journey. You've hit a milestone is what I'm hearing. Next, we have Opal. Your children on earth and in heaven are happy and well cared for by God and the angels. So if you picked pile number 3 and you're worried about your children, or you're worried about your grandchildren, or possibly even worried about, maybe you lost a child, Spirit is letting you know that everybody is safe and well cared for. And with the name Opal, I had an Aunt Opal. So for some of you, that could be an extra confirmation of, maybe somebody that's bringing the message, helping to bring the message to you. Last is owl. Look at, isn't that funny? And you chose the owl. So there's some synchronicity here. It says, good advice from a wise person. All right. So with study, be proud, the land between, your children are safe. This is separate. I don't feel like this goes with this. I feel like this is like a side note, like a PS. If you lost a child, that child's soul is in heaven, well guarded, guided, loved, protected. If your children are struggling in this life, then this is also a confirmation not to worry, that they will be okay. All right. Now let's get back to you, because what I'm seeing here is beautiful. We got the Goddess card, all right, with this be proud and the land in between. This is beautiful. This tells me that even though it's in the shadow attribute, exploitation of the female nature and form, all I'm feeling here is an over nurturing energy. I feel like you could be a little bit codependent, where you care and carry other people's burdens. You have experienced something in your life where you felt victimized, you felt abandoned, used, hurt. And what happens when we are victimized, whether it's when you're very small or as an adult or anywhere in between, what happens is it's a trauma that helps our ego, or creates with our ego, a defense mechanism to protect ourselves. This could be your inner child that was victimized. And I am getting some very dark feelings around that victimization, but I'm not going to express them because I don't want to trigger anybody. But I feel like you are on a journey of self-discovery. You're learning to love yourself. I think you were victimized, and I think in that victimization, you felt unworthy, unchosen, unloved, abandoned, forgotten. I'm hearing alone. And I think you have really come a long way. I think that you are well on your way to becoming this goddess. As soon as and look, we've got wisdom again. You've got the owl twice. So the goddess in the upright is the feminine expressed through wisdom, nature, life force, sensuality. I'm feeling divine feminine energy around you. If you don't know what that is, there are plenty. Sorry, there's a fly. There are plenty of resources for you to look that up. But I feel with this study, Spirit has its own special way of letting you know that it's time to study again. I think you've been being shown how to love yourself and nurture yourself and to be proud of who you are. And I do feel like for some of you, you could be older. I don't want to trigger anybody, not old, just wise. I'm seeing the gray in the hair. And we've got the owl twice, and we've got wisdom with the goddess. And so I just feel like with the number 4 too is all about foundations and stability. And the number 8 is about creativity and luck and infinity, right? So the message I'm getting for you, pile number 3, is that if you experience some kind of victimization or trauma as a child, especially around your womanhood, around being a feminine, because I do feel like this pile is predominantly going to be feminine. And even if you have a masculine avatar or body, I feel like, well, I know that we all hold both archetypes within us, the masculine and the feminine. And so this could be around mother energy, whether you were victimized by a mother or maybe your mother didn't nurture you or wasn't proud of you, didn't see your value. Now, that's not going to be for everybody, so only take what resonates, guys. This is a general reading. Whatever your victimization was, I feel like it's around the feminine energy, around love and nurture and empathy, caring. I feel like you, along your journey, might have formed some belief systems around the feminine energy of being a victim, and probably righteously so. But I think that you have been on a journey building a new foundation, learning to be proud of yourself, possibly nurturing yourself through education, through creativity, through becoming something that you can be proud of. It's like an external manifestation of self-nurturing. You've learned to nurture yourself. And I think for a while you may, and maybe even still so for some of you may be one of these people that nurtures and loves and cares for everybody you meet. Always giving wise advice, always teaching others how to be creative, how to be proud of what they're learning, what they're studying, transformation. It's a very motherly, nurturing energy I'm getting from this pile. And I feel like codependency is when we were denied or felt or believed that we were denied the nurturing and the love that we deserved or should have had at any given moment in our life. Could be childhood, because I am seeing the children thing. And this victim looks young. But I feel like some of you became codependent, where you became the kind of person that love bombs everybody. It's like everybody's welcome at your house, at your table. You'll give them the shirt off your back. You'll go out of your way to help them. You'll take on the responsibility that should be theirs. But I think that you've been learning that you don't have to look for anybody external to you to love you, because you are lovable. I feel like you're stepping into the divine feminine energy, Empress energy. You're being guided that way, because I think for a while you weren't. I think you didn't know your value, didn't know your self-worth. You didn't feel loved. You didn't feel nurtured. And so you became that for everybody but yourself. And I think that you're on this journey of self-awareness where Spirit is trying to show you and teach you that you can remother yourself. You can love yourself as much as you should love yourself and be proud of yourself and everything that you've learned and everything that you've created and every bit of what you've gone through. You don't need anybody to validate you but you. Knowing and nurturing yourself, caring, tending, loving. You're learning to love yourself. And I don't know, some of you might have already accomplished it, and others, because these are in reverse, I feel like this is something you're being guided to. And I believe that whatever this victimization has been a muse for you. You're healing through of some type of creative modality, whether it's painting, singing, photography, learning, reading. Could even be watching YouTube videos about tarot. Being very divinely guided to the temple path, right? Instead of just jumping, you're guided to the temple path. It takes a little longer, but it's where all the magic happens. And it's like the inner temple. It's the self. You're being guided back to the self, back to love of self. And it's in that temple within you that you're going to find this nurturing, loving care. It's where you're going to learn to be proud of yourself. It's where you're going to study and create and seek wise counsel. And you're going to not just be everything to everybody but you. You're going to learn to become everything to you. It's like filling your own cup first. Beautiful energies, my pile number 3. I've been on this journey, and I'm here to tell you that once spirit gets their hooks in you, you can't fail. You're going to be guided and guided and guided and guided. And eventually you're going to realize that within us all lies a god and goddess, the temple within. And whatever it is that you're creating, that was my cat. I'm not sure what she did. Whatever it is you're creating, you're using your creativity to transmute and heal this victim that's within you. I feel that you turned your sadness into your muse. Whether it's a person. So I got one fly in this house, and he can't find someplace else to be. All right, so let's get you your advice. Okay, this is a beautiful journey. I don't know if you're currently on it, if you've already found it, and because the goddess and the victim is in reverse, I would be willing to bet that this is a journey that you have recently been guided on. You're having an awakening of some sort, and the catalyst will be different for each of you, but you're healing this victim mentality, and you're learning that nobody out there external to you is responsible to make you feel happy or proud. If you're looking for validation external to you, you first have to create it internally. When you create it internally, it will manifest externally. So we have attitude, yes. What if you were to imagine a world in which everything happened for you instead of one in which everything happens to you? See that victim mentality. What would you see differently? What would you do differently? The simple act of allowing yourself to shift your perspective has the power to shift your entire life. Attitude. If you are in the attitude of victimization, you will always see in your external experience, validation to prove that you're right. But when you switch your attitude, change your mind, change your inner dialogue, you will start creating validation for the opposite. When you start seeing your value, knowing your worth, I feel like you're on a journey of learning and becoming wise through going within and possibly through guidance with tarot, I feel. So your postcard from Spirit is, Dearest you, we need you to know that you can change things miraculously. For you and everyone, make things right. Let me reframe that. Dearest you, we need you to know that you can change things miraculously for you and everyone and make things right. It's never too late. Forgiveness, see, I do feel like somebody hurt you and there's forgiveness that needs to be had. Whether it's forgiving yourself or forgiving someone else or possibly both. Forgiveness is about releasing yourself from the burden of an old story, victimization. One in which you were a victim, there's that word, of someone else's actions, or possibly even your own. You don't need to carry this around. You can set yourself free. Even advocating for good, because of this experience, requires your forgiveness to be effective. You can't counsel others if you're still carrying the wound. Or at least you can't be a clear channel for others. So even advocating for good because of this experience requires your forgiveness to be effective. Forgiveness is never about condoning things that were done. It's about letting yourself off the hook from carrying the burden. Resentment and hurt are like viruses that spread to others, and that is the opposite of what you really desire, right? Imagine what your life would be like without the burdens that you carry when you do not forgive. You can do it. Everyone over here believes in you and adores you. I'm here to tell you you're on this journey. I see it. It's the temple path. You're in the world of in between. You're not quite there yet, but you're being divinely guided. And I do feel like you try to help everybody else to the detriment of your own inner peace. You feel validated when you help others, but it's your inner child that truly needs your nurturing right now. And so when you go within and find that temple path, that's where you'll get the real wisdom. And that's when you'll be able to create real change within yourself and within others. It's transformation. Look at the butterflies. It's literally changing your inner thoughts, changing. When you change your thoughts, you change your path. Look at all these doorways opening in the thoughts, neurological pathways. I would recommend that you use mantras to change your inner dialogue. If you're one that says, oh, poor, poor, pitiful me, you will manifest more validation for that inner voice. When you change that voice and you say, I am a powerful, conscious creator, co-creating with the divine my highest and best life. When you start saying things like, I am loved, I am worthy, everything I desire is my inherent right as a God source creative being. Everything I desire flows to me effortlessly through pathways known and unknown, seen and unseen. I am loved. I don't need anybody out there to tell me what I'm worthy of. That's my job, to cultivate that within myself. Attitude. I think you're being guided on a pathway toward goddess, empress energy, divine feminine, learning to reparent yourself and nurture yourself and change the inner dialogue from one of negative to positive, from unwise to wise. And it is a journey of study and learning and guidance. I love you guys. I hope this resonated. If you'd like a private reading, I am picking up some very dark experiences with this pile. And if you would like guidance or personal help on your journey, I would love to help you. I have overcome quite a bit on my journey. And, we become the initiate, and then the student, then the adept, then the teacher. And so I have learned to become adept at changing my inner dialogue and nurturing my inner child, healing the victim within me. And so I would love to help you if you feel so called. If not, if this is where we part, thank you for giving me your time. I hope there was something that you got from this, and I will see you on the next upload. Together, we are changing the world. Namaste.